What is going on, my friends? Good evening. I'm Peter. This is Infinity Digital, and you are watching a Tech Check. And tonight's episode is all about Mavic Mania. Yeah, there's 4 different Mavics currently available for purchase now, and I've been getting a lot of questions recently on what's the difference between them all, what's the best, which one should I get, etc., etc. So tonight I'm going to break it all down, go over each and every one of these, the pros and the cons, and hopefully be able to help you guys decide which Mavic is right for you. Stick around. So let's break all of these down, and their pros, their cons, and what I really think about the specifications. And then, of course, we're going to take a look at some real-life photo and video footage, compare them all to see if you can really tell if there's actually a difference once everything's said and done. Especially if you're just sharing on social media like Facebook and YouTube, those are going to compress the crap out of them anyway. So maybe you don't need to spend twice as much on the biggest, latest, and greatest drone and be perfectly fine with something that costs half as much and putting your money elsewhere. So, the Mavic Air. This thing came out in February of this year. It's a pretty impressive little drone. It folds up just like the rest of them. When it is all folded up, it's just slightly larger than a soda can. And yes, it comes equipped completely with a 4K camera that shoots 30 frames per second. It is 3-way stabilized. It comes loaded with a battery that can last you about 20 minutes. It has 8 gigabytes of onboard storage just in case you forget your micro SD card. It has front-facing obstacle avoidance and rear-facing obstacle avoidance. It is also loaded up with Smart Control, or DJI's new version of the gesture control system we saw back with the Spark. It does work, but to me it seems just a little bit gimmicky. It also comes equipped with a technology called APAS, Advanced Pilot Assisted System. And that allows the drone to be able to become aware of its surroundings. And when it comes up on an object, it can automatically decide whether it needs to veer to the left, the right, or over its object. In my testing, it worked pretty good with large objects and even a chain link fence, but it did leave some room for improvement. Now, since it is a smaller drone, that does mean it's significantly more compact than the Pro 2 and the original Mavic Pro by about 35% or so. It's also significantly lighter. It does hold up in some pretty significant winds, but there is a catch. And that is, of course, the battery in real-world testing only lasts about 18 minutes. But compared to its bigger brothers, that's a significant drop. This drone uses a Wi-Fi signal for its control and its FPV video feedback. Now, out over open water and in open conditions, I've been able to fly this thing over 3 miles, and really the only thing that held me back was the battery. However, you can take it into your local suburban park, and I've struggled to get more than 1,000 feet. That's really been the Achilles heel of this particular drone. One of the other downsides also is the small motors and small propellers. This thing is incredibly loud. It sounds like a pissed off bee, and you can seriously hear it from more than a mile away. Now, this bad boy retails at your local retailer and online for about $7.99. That includes the drone, the battery, the controller, and all the necessary cables and chargers. So next, we take a look at the original Mavic Pro. This drone has been around for about 2 years now, and it is solid as a rock. I've clocked more than 500 flights on this thing, and I've flown it in some ridiculous conditions, and it's always been rock solid. It also comes equipped with a 4K camera that is stabilized by a 3-axis gimbal. It has a battery that's going to last you roughly 25 minutes. It has front-facing obstacle avoidance, but it does not have the rear obstacle avoidance that the Mavic Air has. It also does not come equipped with APAS or gesture control. It does, however, come equipped with what you would expect as far as the quick shots as well as different follow me modes. It also uses a transmission technology called OcuSync, which uses a 2.4 gigahertz signal to transmit the control and video footage back to the controller up to 4 miles. Now it is completely solid, and I've flown this thing in the craziest conditions, and I can honestly say that signal strength and video feedback has never really been much of an issue for me. There are a few downsides of this drone compared to the Mavic Air, and that is it doesn't use gesture control, it doesn't have APAS, the technology in it is a little bit dated, but it still is a ridiculously solid drone. And here's the thing, it retails, I've seen online, for about $800 to $850, almost the same price as the Mavic Air. So next we step up to the Mavic 2. This one right here particularly is the Mavic 2 Pro. Now there is also a Mavic 2 Zoom, which is exactly the same drone body with a slightly different camera. We'll touch on that in a minute. So the Mavic 2 Pro comes equipped with front-facing obstacle avoidance, rear-facing obstacle avoidance on the top, on the bottom, and on the sides. It is important to note, however, that these side sensors only operate while the drone is in tripod mode. We also come equipped with upgraded motors and the low noise propellers, and DJI claims that this drone is 50% quieter than the original Mavic Pro. It also comes equipped with 8 gigabytes of onboard storage, something the original Mavic Pro does not have. It also comes equipped with APAS 2.0, which is a significantly updated version of the APAS on the original Mavic Air. Now, I've got a video doing a full test on that coming up, so you want to make sure you stick around for that. Another thing that this drone is equipped with is OcuSync 2.0. It's an upgraded version of the original OcuSync from the original Mavic Pro that uses both 2.4 gigahertz and 5.8 gigahertz transmission to transmit a full 1080p HD signal up to 5 miles away. I have yet to do a full-on test of that, but I have totally seen a significant increase of signal strength and video feedback quality using this drone. Now, it is maybe 5 to 10% larger than the original Mavic Pro, and probably weighs a good maybe 10% more as well. But that's to be expected with its upgraded battery that can keep this thing up in the air for about 30 minutes. Now, one of the biggest changes in features here is this bad boy right up here up front. Now, this is a Hasselblad camera, and it comes equipped with a 1-inch Sony CMOS sensor on a 3-way axis stabilized gimbal. And this gimbal is much more robust than the original Mavic Pro as well. An important note. Now there is the Mavic 2 Zoom, which has a 1/2.3 inch sensor similar to the Mavic Pro and the Mavic Air, but comes equipped with 2x optical zoom, which DJI claims allows you to get up to 4x zoom lossless, which means you can get much closer to your subject without actually physically getting closer.
I'm here at this lovely historic lighthouse setting. I've got with me the Mavic Air, the Mavic Pro, and the Mavic 2 Pro. And I'm going to fly them around a little bit, take some pictures and some video, and then we're going to compare them all back in the studio to see if you can really tell a difference once they're being done compressed by YouTube. I'm going to set them all to standard and automatic mode and try to make the captures as close to the same as possible so we can have a good comparison. Here we go.
All right, so there you see. And in my opinion, there really isn't a huge difference, especially if you're only sharing on social media and enjoying it for yourself locally and sharing it with your friends and family. If you're sharing it with a customer or something like that, or you're doing it commercially, that's a different story. So let's break it all down. If I were to choose between the Mavic Air and the Mavic Pro, at least for me, the size isn't as important. And I would probably pick the Mavic Pro over the Mavic Air. They roughly cost the same amount of money. You're getting a significant more battery life and significantly more range using the Mavic Pro over the Mavic Air. However, if your bottom dollar lies on portability, Mavic Air is still a solid choice. Now, if you're picking between the Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic 2 Zoom, unless you're a professional and you are incredibly picky about your photo and video quality, I would probably pick the 2 Zoom over the 2 Pro. It's a little bit cheaper, and that added boost in zooming capability far outweighs the minimal increase, especially after compression on social media, of the Mavic 2 Pro. So hopefully I've been able to give you guys a good breakdown and a good idea of the differences between these two and give you my personal opinion and hopefully allow you guys to use your own opinion based on all these facts to pick which one's right for you. If I've been any help to you guys, please do me a huge favor, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And of course, share it with your friends and family who are into the same kind of thing too. And of course, I love to hear your comments. In fact, this episode came directly from the comments and questions from you guys. And of course, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all again real soon.